Hi everyone. We are going to do work with some clay today. So what you'll need is your white bit of clay that I sent you, and you can take it out of its first. That's actually very useful, that bag. And then you want to get it out of its second one, and you can throw the second one away. Oh, mine smells quite funky. Smells quite nice. Okay. And then you will need a rolling pin if you have it. If you don't have it, then that's fine, because you can use a roll of like cling film or tin foil, or even just, if you just prep it by putting some heavy books on top of this and pushing it down. Then you'll need a knife to trim the edges. I've just got a normal kitchen knife. I'm going to, then it's a question of pressing some different textures and shapes into your clay. So I'm going to get a fork, might as well. I've found, these are all things that I've just found literally round the table. A little screw, coin, I've got a hairpin, and then I have got, these are my favourite plants at the moment, this yarrow, so I'm going to use that. And then, excitingly, we will also be using a little bit, if you have it, which you should have got in your pack, of gold leaf, which is incredibly difficult to, it's so light, so don't worry if it crumples up. We're going to use it crumpled anyway. And if you have it, a little bit of black or a different colour ink and a small paintbrush. Okay, let's get going. So to start with, you want to roll out your plaque. Oh yeah, and you need a pencil, because that's going to make the hole in the plaque. So you're going to roll it out, and you want to make sure it stays quite nice and thick. I'm rolling it out on my piece of paper because my desk is a little bit dirty. But if you're a sensible, clean person, then you can just do it on the table. And I'm rolling it so it's about 1 centimetre thick, maybe a little bit more. So it's almost like it's becoming the size of the bag that I'm rolling it on. Okay, there we go. Can you see that thickness? Maybe a little bit more than 1 centimetre. And if you want to, I'm just going to do it once, but you could cut the sides to make it super straight, and then you can use the excess for something else. Roll it into a ball, make something. But I actually like the curved sides, so I'm going to keep the rest curved. I'm going to get my pencil. About 1 inch down, I'm going to stab it in there and push it all the way through, like that. I need to look up how this clay dries, but we can look up that later. So we've used our rolling pin and our knife, and now I'm going to make a border. I'm going to start by rolling my coin around the edge to make a line border of my little plaque. And we're using, textures to create an image. And the image can be whatever you want, basically. I'm thinking patterns. Because my yarrow is going to feature, it's kind of going to be a bit plant-based. And then I'm going to get my fork and use my fork to make a pattern on the inside. But again, you might have a different apparatus that you're wanting to use. So basically what I would do is just have a route around your desk or the kitchen to find some things that you like. Now I'm going to then use this, and I might even use the rolling pin to roll that into, that didn't work very well. So I'm going to have to press it in a little bit more. This clay is like, it's not really clay, I don't think. If you're using actual clay, then this would work much better. Yeah, actually that hasn't worked for me, so I'm going to scrap that. Let's see if this wool works. Just use that as a kind of swirly pattern. So I think it needs something a little bit harder. Okay, so I'll get my screw. That's better. Then I'm going to make another round like that, all the way around. I'm going to do mine fast, but we'll have time to do all sorts of patterns. And you could just keep going with lots of different patterns. I've got my hair clip. I'm going to go around all the way, some more dots basically. Okay, then I'm going to use my knife to divide it into some sort of shapes. So my work becomes kind of abstract. I'm going to go right to the end. And actually there's a nice texture on this knife, so okay. Then we are going to use the ink to paint a little bit into our white clay. I like the black. As you know, I like black and white, and especially because we're going to use the gold as well. So I'm just doing some dots around the outside, and maybe some of these. I'm not using any water with the ink. Oh, I like the idea of, now I'm going to turn that into the opposite. But again, you don't need to sit and watch me doing slow painting. So I'm going to speed up. But can you see I'm now making the dots white? And then paint this whole section black. So we're sort of doing a sort of harlequin-y, is it harlequin? More like a dice. Mime, that's what I'm thinking. Black and white. Okay. And what I might do is the same here. Oh, I know what it is. It's the yin yang. So I'm using my ink, And I know that I haven't sent you any PVA glue, but basically as a layer of protection, that would work really, really well afterwards to coat your clay in the PVA glue. Because it kind of, yeah, acts like a protective layer. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to get a bit of Pritt stick, which I forgot to mention. If you've got PVA glue, then that would be better. And I'm going to put a little bit on my finger, but we can just do it directly on, really. And I'm going to put it where I want my gold leaf to go. So yeah, this is quite a different session from normal, using quite different materials. So remember, this is only a practice. You don't have to beat yourself up if it's not exactly. Gold leaf is especially really difficult to work with. And I've smudged my ink, but that doesn't matter because the gold leaf will cover it up. Okay. Now, make sure your fingers are not sticky, because what you're going to do is you're going to gently put pieces of your gold leaf over where you put the glue. Can you see I'm just pressing it down, and it doesn't matter if the piece of gold leaf is too big. And I'm pushing it down into the glue on top of the clay. Oops. Which I'm now kind of convinced isn't actually clay. It's almost like that magic stuff that, you know, have you ever seen that? That's my hole for my, I don't want to go over that. Okay, so what we're going to do when we get to this point is leave it to dry. But because I'm wanting to show you, and I'm running out of time, I'm just going to show you quickly. You need a dry brush, and you're going to brush away at the gold leaf. Oh, do you know what? It's actually sticking quite nicely without the glue, just by brushing it onto the surface, which actually is really nice, because then it goes into, can you see what's happening? like you know when like you're gilding something. So I'm actually going to just brush it all in. Sorry, I hadn't tried this before I made the video, which is a bit lazy of me, but you know, we don't have time for everything. And actually, I'm really liking my shapes that I'm making with the gold leaf. And can you see I'm pushing it into all the dents? And if it rips, then I'm not bothered, because actually it's got that, what's that Japanese, kintsugi, where you're filling in the repairs and making it more beautiful. So it's about imperfections and celebrating them. So this is not going to be a perfect, but yeah, I love these combinations of the black, gold, and what I might do now is maybe add some more textures into some of the spaces. and see, yeah, make some stripes, see what works. Some things work better than others. Okay, and there you have it. That's your plaque. You could even write something in it or put an initial in it. Yeah, so think about the shape of the gold leaf then that you want to put on. And we'll have a play with it, and it's just an experiment. And that's what learning's all about. All right, thanks guys.